All right, what up, everybody? This is another session with LPS on the pursuit of greatness, the journey to greatness. We are talking about Think and Grow Rich. Let's get into it. Again, if you do not have this book, do yourself a favor and go get this book. This will change your life. The 13 Laws of Achievement, composed by Napoleon Hill, sold over 200 million copies worldwide to date. It includes interviews and case studies of the 500 most successful people up to this time period. You know, we have Henry Ford, we have Thomas Edison, we have Helen Keller. You know, though there are just so many names in here about how they became successful, built the fortunes, built the organizations, and achieved everything they wanted by thinking and growing rich. If you do not want to be rich, if you do not want to be wealthy, if you do not want prosperity, that is completely fine. Think about rich versus poverty. If you are poor, if you have a poverty mindset, if your relationships are poor, if the environment around you is poor, then think rich as in how you want to see your life. Think and grow and become who you want to be. It is broken down. Go get your copy. Alrighty, so let's get into it right now. We're talking about faith, which is the second principle, I believe, after desire. So I'm going to open up my book to faith. And it says visualization and belief in attainment of desire, the second step toward riches. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. When faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious instantly picks up the vibration and translates it into its spiritual equivalent and transmits it to infinite intelligence, as in the case of prayer. Faith is very special and personal to me because I consider myself a man of faith. Before religion, before anything, faith is my backbone. When I don't know what to do, I pray. Prayer is always my first response and not my last resort. Many people would say that I kind of have a gift of prayer because I can pray very long. I can pray very powerful because it is truly my connection to source, to God, to universe, to however it is that you want to think about it. But faith is the very cornerstone of who I am. Alrighty, so the emotions of faith, love, and sex are the most powerful of all major positive emotions. One thing that I love about this book is that it breaks down faith and all these concepts into understanding science. You know, I'm in a place in my spiritual walk where I don't see God as this man in the sky. I see God as particles, as energy, as omniscience and omnipresent, and in every atom, to that small and that granular of a concept. And that has truly revolutionized my world because it's made me see the world in a way that both faith, science, and spirituality can live together. And that has truly, truly changed the way that I conceptualize things, and I can break it down to an analytical way and make me understand it that's beyond just blind faith. Faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind, the principle of autosuggestion. So this week, we're going to be looking at autosuggestion, which was a very powerful video that I've already watched. But we can actually create faith or induce it by just repeating the instructions to the subconscious mind. You know, you can continually pray. You know, they talk about pray and pray and pray without ceasing. Pray until you get your result. You know, PUSH, pray until something happens. You know, this is exactly what we're talking about, but we're breaking it down into scientific and terms that we can understand beyond spirituality. It's so powerful. It's a state of mind that after you have mastered these, it says becomes a state of mind which develops voluntarily through application and use of these principles. Faith without works is dead. So continually using these principles, continually speaking this, continually, you know, suggesting to your mind what it is that you want or what the life that you want is continually how you can build faith. The great example that he likes to use as an illustration is that when men first come into contact with crime, they abhor it. You know, if they remain in contact with it, crime for a time, they become accustomed to it and endure it. Finally, if they're in contact with it long enough, they will embrace it and will become influenced by it. What that means is that we can definitely keep telling ourselves or be around something. You know, talk about the law of is it the law of influence or the law of, I don't know. There's a law though that the people you are around, the law of association, the people that you are around the most, you will become like them. If you look at the 5 people that you are around the most, you are going to become like them. You will become like them in how much money they make, the way that they think, the way that their life looks, their lifestyle that they have. And so you want to surround yourself. You want to have your association, the people that you're around the most, be people that you want to become like. So he uses that illustration of crime, and I think it's great because, you think about criminals as, maybe at the beginning they're a little uncomfortable, but then after a time that they're there, it becomes a part of who they are. Same thing. My sister used to say, watch your thoughts, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your actions because they become your lifestyle. They become who you are. So same kind of concept. I like to say that it translates itself into the physical equivalent by the most practical procedure available. So when you send out that vibration into the universe, you're going to get something with the most practical resources available. The energy, the vibrations are going to see what's going on around you. They're going to see that picture and they're going to gravitate towards that. And they're going to pick up what's closest to you. For me, like I think about as a commercial model, I'm going to start, speaking about that, and I'm going to book commercials because there's going to be a chance when a commercial is going to be available and the energy that I have is going to attract that to me. A big part of faith is the emotions, the feeling portion of thoughts. All of your emotions are in your subconscious. So you have to feel it. You can't just speak these affirmations. You can't just speak these things. You have to literally feel it. That is how you train your subconscious to start taking action. It talks about, it's really important. I wanted to mention this because a lot of people are naysayers or pessimistic or skeptics. You understand that the subconscious mind will translate into its physical equivalent a thought of impulsive and negative, destructive nature just as readily as it will upon a thoughts of impulsive, positive, or constructive nature. That's what bad luck and misfortune is. When we fixate on a negative thought or a negative emotion and we just constantly have our subconscious filled with negativity, I can relate to this because I grew up in a negative environment. It's no fault of the people that brought me up, but I was brought up in a poverty mindset. I was brought up and things are too good to be true. I was brought up and I can't become everything I want. I was brought up and you need to manage your expectations. And I reject all of that now. And the reason that is because I received the lifestyle, I received the outcome because of what I was around and what I allowed to influence me. So now I have to retrain my subconscious mind. So if you are negative, if you grew up in a negative environment, if you grew up around people that aren't dreamers and everything like that, it is crazy because we need to, you might understand where I'm coming from, and we need to retrain our mind. We need to find a new way and a new life that we want to build. And we do that through faith, through autosuggestion, and through constantly repetition of the thoughts that we feed our mind. Again, going back to Stella Adler in The Art of Acting, conduct yourself just as you would if you were already in possession of the material thing which you are demanding when you call upon your subconscious mind. I'm going to start acting like LPS greatness. I'm going to dress like LPS greatness. I'm going to talk like LPS greatness. I'm going to communicate to you guys like I already have a channel with a lot of subscribers and I'm very influential. I'm going to put sticky notes all around my house that will tell me how to conduct, how to speak, how to be, how to feel, how to dress. And I am going to create myself who I am going to be by speaking in present tense to be the person that I want to be. It comes through practice. It cannot merely come through reading instructions. Voluntary suggesting to the subconscious mind, mind that has faith, the mind comes finally to take the nature and influences which dominate it. Understand this truth, and you know why it is essential for you to encourage the positive emotions as dominating forces of your mind and discourage and eliminate negative emotions. When I feel negative emotions, when I feel anger, when I feel sadness, when I feel frustration, when I feel rage, when I feel hate, when I feel any of that, I'm just going to choose to reject that. That is not a part of my life. That is not serving me, and you will not come into my future. Faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Faith is the basis of all miracles and all mysteries which cannot be analyzed by the rules of science. Faith is the element, the chemical, which mixed with prayer gives one direct communication with infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence is what I'm learning is basically God. It is the omniscient, it is the omnipresent force that is in everything. Everything vibrates, everything is moving. We live in a motion of ocean, as Bob Proctor and Napoleon Hill talked about. God is in every single living force, every single atom, every single thing in this world. That is infinite intelligence. We have access to that, and we can use that to our advantage to create and think and live in the reality that we want. Every man is what he is because of the dominating thoughts, which he permits to occupy his mind. Thoughts which a man deliberately places in his own mind. Thoughts which are mixed with any of the feelings of emotions constitute a magnetic force which attracts from the vibrations of the ether, either similar or related thoughts. A thought thus magnetized with emotion may compare to a seed which planted in fertile soil germinates, grows, and multiplies itself over and over again, until that which originally one small seed becomes countless millions of seeds of the same brand. I want to really point out what ether is. Ether is great cosmic mass of eternal forces of vibration. It is made up of both destructive vibrations and constructive vibrations. It carries at all times vibrations of fear, poverty, disease, failure, misery, and vibrations of prosperity, health, success, and happiness, just as surely as it carries the sound of hundreds of orchestrations of music and hundreds of human voices, all of which maintain their own individuality and means of identification through the medium of radio. So ether is a cosmic mass that we cannot see. It's invisible. It's frequencies. In the same way that the radio transmits waves and frequencies, the television does that. The same thing is happening with vibrations and forces that are going to the earth that we can attract ourselves to by building a picture in our mind and then following that vibration all the way until we have materialized that as that which we want. I'm really juiced about this. I'm really amped about this. As you can see, I'm borderline manic about this because this is changing my life. And I'm seeing it change my life because when I wake up and I start with gratitude, when I start with getting the vibration to become the person that I want to be, it literally changes the actions that I take. I would never make a video like this and throw it out there and know that it's going to bring something great and expect something great to come out of it because I would be afraid. But I no longer have fear because I trust the vibrations. I trust all this. And this goes in line with my spirituality and my faith. Okay, from the great storehouse of the ether, the human mind is constantly attracting vibrations which harmonize with that which dominates the human mind. Any thought or idea or plan or purpose which holds in one mind attracts from the vibrations of the ether a host of its relatives, adds these relatives to its own force, and grows until it becomes the dominating, motivating master of the individual in whose mind it has been housed. Through repetition of thought, this is why you are asked to write out a chief statement of your major purpose. Okay, so a definite chief aim. So again, that's the affirmations, that's my note card, that's my sticky notes all over the place. And repeat it and repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it until those vibrations of sound reach your subconscious mind. All right, greatest weakness of self-confidence. So we have the self-confidence formula, and I'm gonna write this down. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Fourth, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. I love this because this lets us know that we're not going to lose our core. We're not going to lose who we are. We are not going to become succumbed to greed and all those negative emotions that so many wealthy and powerful people have. This will not allow us to do that. I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use, the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because I will of my willingness to serve others. I will illuminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity because I know that a negative attitude toward others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day, with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become self-reliant and a successful person. The subconscious mind. Okay, so that's the end of that. I'm gonna write that. I encourage you to do the same thing. The subconscious mind, the chemical laboratory in which all thought impulses are combined and made ready for translation into physical reality, makes no distinction between constructive and destructive thought impulses. It works with the material we feed it. Through our thought impulses, the subconscious mind will translate into reality a thought driven by fear just as readily as it will translate into reality a driven thought by courage or faith. Okay, and then I think we can stop there. This is important. So, Christianity is the greatest single force which influences the minds of men. The basis of Christianity is faith, no matter how many people have perverted or misinterpreted the meaning of this great force, and no matter how many dogmas and creeds have been created in its name which do not reflect its tenets. This is huge for me because I'm a huge Christian. Even if I'm not a Christian in regards to the religious sense, Christ is my king and it is my power. It is my source. Every single thing comes from Christ, the embodiment of God, because there is power in the name of Jesus that I have witnessed time and time and time again. Whether you agree with that or not, that is my personal belief. That is my source. So it says, the sum of the substance and teachings and the achievements of Christ, which have been interpreted as miracles, were nothing more nor less than faith. If there is any such phenomena as miracles, they are produced only through the state of mind as faith. Some teachers of religion who call themselves Christians neither understand nor practice faith. And then he goes into saying how Mahatma Gandhi was able to mobilize 200 million people to be moving in one mind, and that is power. And I love that because it's influence. I'm hoping that one day I will be able to influence millions of people to move in one mind towards greatness, achievement, prosperity, faith, and just become their best versions of themselves. Talks about how dividends, and then it uses the example of Charles Schwab and JP Morgan, which you recognize those names. Read the book to actually get the rest of that. Alrighty, let's finish off. We're at 15 minutes. So faith is the ability to see the invisible, believe in the incredible, and receive what the masses call impossible. That's from Clarence Smithson. He worked for the Equal Opportunity for World book. When faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious mind instantly picks up that vibration, translates into a spiritual equivalent, and transmits it to infinite intelligence. We got that. Most people have blind faith, which means that the first bump in the road, they kind of give up. Part of us is all-knowing, omnipresent, omnipotent, our spirit. We learned a lot about the spirit and how we're spiritual beings. That's the God. And they say, greater is he who lives in the world than greater is he that lives with me than he who's in the world. Similar thing, the omniscient, the omniscient present, that spiritual, that particles, like the omnipresent, that vibration, all of that is in our spirit. It's all connected to our spirit, so it's everywhere. Great way to illustrate that. It's not you who's holding you back. It's who you think you're not. That's huge. We're spiritual beings that live in a physical body. People think we're a physical body. It's merely an instrument we're living in. Higher faculties separated from animals. They determine our emotional state. A lot of us do not have access to our faculties. Everything is energy. Energy operates by law. The law of vibration operates on frequencies. There's an infinite number of frequencies, planes, radio waves, everything on frequencies. Highest frequency is pure spirit. Lowest is physical. Between spiritual and physical and intellectual. And then between spiritual and physical is intellectual. That's where we kind of operate our lives. It's sad to improve our lower side personality to higher sides. Sad. That's probably not sad, so I apologize for that. He uses the example of sand becoming glass. You heat up sand, and that's how it becomes glass. You move those frequencies, at a higher vibration. Everything you're seeking is seeking you. You have to find the harmony and the frequency that it's on. Spirit is omnipresent as our thoughts. If you hold that idea long enough in your head, it must move into form. It's a law. Work upside down and inside out. Let thoughts control your results, not the other way around. The way people got what they want is that the results kind of designate the way they think. Prayer in your conscious mind, no form ability to build whatever you want. Hold the picture and implant that into subconscious mind. See the invisible, only what you can see. Believe in the incredible. Power, send that out to the universe and the subconscious mind, and then permits what the masters would call impossible. Create miracles and breakthroughs. Ask and you shall receive it. Thoughts always perceive the words. In the beginning was the word. Another beautiful scripture. Move body into frequency to attract what it has to attract. Become emotionally involved in act. Voltaire says, miracles avoid to express unknown fact into what is known fact. Absence of undefined goals. We become strongly enslaved by the ideas that dominate us. And then Gandhi. So, a mind dominated by positive emotions becomes an abode. Oh, that's a great quote. I'll have to get that to you guys on the next round. But that is faith. Almost 20 minutes. I hope that impacted you as great as it impacted me. Stay tuned as we are on the journey to greatness, and Think and Grow Rich is the current text and book that we are studying. The next one will be auto-suggestion. Thank you so much for your time. I hope that was helpful. God bless you. Take care, and namaste.